had a good chat there. I sort of laid all my cards on the table, was pretty vulnerable with things. To be honest, it was a bit of a wake-up call for me as the employer. We have a KRESS delivery. Excited to see what we've got. Must be batteries in that, is it?
There's the phone rise. Oh wow.
It was important that I was out there and spoke to the builder and discussed everything that they needed to do and dig out an area for them. The tree, as I was trying to fell it with all the weight on it, just snapped and gave way. Maybe I was a bit naive to think that the hinge would be enough to hold it and get it to go the way I wanted, but with it being rotten and everything, most certainly not. Good morning folks, it is Monday, it is a new week. Welcome back to the vlog. I hope you've been enjoying the vlogs lately. It's been good to show the ins and outs of what we're doing, the sort of slow haul out of winter, sharing the struggles and also the wins, and that is the whole idea of these videos. So if you are enjoying them, please make sure to hit that like button, leave your thoughts down below in the comments, and if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. Just do it now, just do it now, right now. You haven't done it yet. Anyway, this morning I got Damien and Tommy set up on a job, a general sort of tidy up job, clearing the garden for, what's going on here? Some machine. Clearing the garden, having a general sort of winter, very early spring tidy up for a regular customer. We're doing quite a lot of those lately, and it's quite nice to get in and just give things a blitz, get them all tidied and looking nice, and often it doesn't take more than a day. Good sort of bread and butter work, and apart from that, that is it. Kyle and Mike both called in sick this morning. Kyle has got a pretty nasty cough and has been up all night, and Mike has hurt his back yesterday. So yeah, it's just Damien and Tommy out just now. If you follow the vlogs, you'll know Ed comes out on Tuesdays and Alex, when he comes out, is on Thursdays and Fridays. So the start of the week is usually quite slow, but it's also sometimes nice to ease yourself back into it. Caveat to that, it would be nice just to sort of hit the ground running and get on with it, but it depends what we've got in the diary, how easy things are to organise and schedule. I've been in the office this morning. I sent out a quote which got accepted within half an hour of sending it out, which is great. Another landscaping job, and I've just been working on some prices for a couple of gravel driveways to do for the customer that the guys are at there just now, and also their neighbour. So that would be quite a nice job to try and tie in together, because the houses are back to back, and I did say there might be some cost savings if the jobs were done at the same time. So yeah, on top of all that, the season is not far away, and by season I mean the grass cutting season. We have quite a big round of sort of regular grass cutting customers. I've just put in a tender for a commercial contract doing some retail parks in Aviemore, Inverness and Elgin, which is new to me. It was a pretty straightforward tender, but the whole commercial side of the industry is quite different compared to the domestic. The money isn't quite the same, but the benefits are different as opposed to the domestic side of things, a domestic client and a commercial client. Although it might not be as lucrative as normal, like our normal sort of domestic routes, etc., it might be a foot in the door into the sort of commercial line of stuff, working on these bigger sort of car parks, litter picking, etc., and it gives a bit of variety compared to the sort of in and out sort of gardens that we do. So yeah, we'll see what comes of that, if I'm successful in the tender or not. Again, the pricing was quite difficult to do. Obviously with all pricing you want to be as fair and as competitive as possible, but also make as much money as possible. So knowing where you're at with that and trying to gauge how long jobs are actually going to take you and what is a sensible figure is always going to be the most difficult thing in business. And I've got better, but I've still not mastered it. So there is a lot to do and only so much time to do it. So I need to stop saying I'm going to do it and just do it. Actions speak louder than words. Where's your KRESS hat? You don't get it. So we've got the builder here today. He's going to get the ramp shutter all set up, and hopefully they're going to pour tomorrow, so that'll be good. For those who don't know, the ramp that was built with the house was just done pretty horrendously, so we broke it out and we've got the builder to come in and redo it. So we're getting there. Snow has obviously blessed us again. There's only so much you can kind of do when it's like this. The ground's pretty hard. The guys are just putting a gravel board on the bottom of the fence there. There's obviously going to be gravel going all the way around the house and into the driveway. I need to get this pile of soil away. There's still some soil to go in here to build up the levels for the lawn, to fill up the planter, and also some rubble to get away. So once that's done, the lawn's done, we can work our way out the house, into the driveway, get the levels all sorted. Probably going to need to take some hardcore in to build up the levels, and then finish it with gravel. So we're approaching the end of it. We are going to plant up the beds as well. I've got Kyle on that. Kyle is the keen plant guy, if that's the word for it. So he's going to have an idea of what we can put in here, how many we'll need, etc., and get it all planted up. So, but it is cold and I can't feel my fingers. Nor can you. The rises maybe next week, not this week, but maybe next week we'll come in and try and get it pushed on. You see a lot of fences out like that. Diagonals going, the brace is going down the way. It just makes it's not doing anything then. It's almost holding the gate up when it's like that. Okay. So when you're just when you're marking it, it's going to be, the boards are going to be on this side, but it's going to be recessed in. Being out in the elements and exposed all the time, it's hard. Landscaping tools in general just get a beating with the weather and stuff, but we try and just take a bit more care of when we get back, dry them off, etc., and just store them out. But I'll go and dump this load, and then I'll meet you back at the yard, and we'll get a plan of action. See what the weather's like over there. Most guys would go around the wall. Not our guys. Through his wall. You know the bit we're talking about?
The gravel at the bottom.
Down the bottom, so we're going to have to... Is it worth maybe taking those boards?
We've maybe put some boards on.
Alright, okay. Basically that area is going to get re-gravelled, just to get the gravel up there to begin with, and then we'll come
take it from there.
We'll take it. Hi. So it's a bit later in the day now. We came away from that job this morning. We had an idea of going out there and building the bench that was going to be attached to the sort of sleeper bed that we had put in along the fence. However, we kind of came to the conclusion that because it was an add-on and it was our suggestion initially to the customer, like that would be quite a nice place to put a bench, to do it and build it in a way that it wasn't going to look out of place and not in theme with the rest of the garden, then we just wasn't sure if that was the best place and the best way to do it. So we decided, and we spoke to the client and they were fine. They were like, just fine, just leave it. We've opted not to build the bench in there and just have the bed running along the fence line. So there wasn't as much to do out there. It was important that I was out there and spoke to the builder and discussed everything that they needed to do and dig out an area for them, getting ready to concrete that ramp, The guys had built the gate for the fence there, put a gravel board on, etc., and then just had a general sort of tidy up of the site, took old wood away, general sort of rubbish and stuff, just had a bit of a tidy up of the site. So again, we've got turf to put down on the lawn once it gets a bit milder, levels to bring up with soil, turf to go down, and then we've got gravel to go around the whole property, and then also the driveway. So once the ramp's built and we've got those piles of soil and stuff away, we can sort of get an idea of what we need to do with the driveway. But until then, we're kind of at a standstill with that job. The builder's hopefully going to pour the ramp tomorrow, so that would be great to get that done and to a much higher standard than it was done before. The heat pump base that I think I've shown in the video before, they're going to see if they can do something with that to extend it at the back, because the heat pump's hanging off the back of the base, and maybe just to dress it up because the concrete has obviously kind of scaled off. So structurally it should be okay, but just to tidy it up and make it a little bit more aesthetically pleasing, the builder is going to see what they can do just to tidy it up and make it look a little bit more presentable. It would save us getting a heating engineer in to disconnect the heat pump and everything, and then pour a new pad and put the heat pump back on. So this is a sort of a cheaper alternative. Hopefully it should be okay. The guys came away from there. They're just at another job now in Boatgarten, at the same place that Kyle and Ed had started a job last week, removing some trees and tidying up the beds. We're now going into landscape the rest of the property. There's some old gravel there that's been down for a number of years, and we're going to be digging that out, replacing with new fresh stuff, also separating the gravel from a new lawn area. So it was quite a big exposed gravel area, which was quite boring. So to break it up a little bit and give the customer some colour, I guess, we're going to put a lawn in as well. So but basically it's quite a lot of gravel to dig out. There's a bottom section that we can't get a machine to, so the guys have been out there hand digging that just now. Just picked up the digger, the Kubota that we had on hire last week, and we've got it on hire for another few days. So we're going to go out there, make a start on that, and yeah, get underway with another project. Tomorrow we need to get a team out to a local job. They've got a huge property. I don't know how many acres, but it's kind of got on top of them, and there's quite a lot to go and do. So basically need a team of 3 in there for a couple of days just to have a general tidy up with the chipper, chip all the branches, etc. There's some fallen trees that need to be chopped up, so I'll probably go and do that myself with a couple of others, and then we'll progress with this job here as well. So that's the plan of action. Whether that changes as the week goes on, more than likely, but that is what the plan is this week. So yeah, we'll go and see what the guys are up to. Painting. This is the only thing you could ever do. Basically it's just down to a depth, so we can put ram in and then fresh gravel on a decent layer again, I can see how deep it is. It's up against the fence. It's not really ideal, the gravel being up against the fence like that, right enough. This is an old thing, round gravel. Right, I'm going to get the digger off. You want to shift that van? That area down there, can't get any machine down there to get it dug out, so it's got to be done by hand. But all this area is getting scraped out. There's going to be a new lawn in this section with a curved edge running to the deck, gravel, lawn, new driveway as well, new path around the front. So yeah,
me or the camera?
Speaking to you on the camera.
Oh, I'm dying in this one.
So basically what's happening in the front here, again all this gravel's coming out. It's a sort of grey, not very nice looking stuff. Served a purpose, but we want to brighten up the house, so we're going to be using pink gravel in here. It's going to be a new sandstone path going in here. These are a thing of the past, not really necessary. So we're just going to replace the whole thing with gravel, and then we're going to create a new sandstone path, basically in the same style as that, and then do some sort of feature bed in the middle here. So that's the plan of action. So quite a lot of gravel to come away from the job. Fine. Throw them in over there. There you go, man. Well done. It's much different to the Volvo. It feels much bigger. these stamps, getting this gravel down to the front, all those slabs lifted and piled up, maybe towards the front of the entrance, just so it's. I need a bigger yard, but I should also be grateful for what I've got. Constant conflict in my head. Want more, need more, be grateful for what you've already got. Because a lot of people don't have a yard like this, and I do feel blessed to have this space. I acquired this yard when I didn't need this yard, and I'm very much glad I took the risk and went for it.
I feel like I should be helping you.
It's alright. Ah! Not out of breath. I'm not out of breath.
Who are you going to call out this time?
Luke Stoltman. No, sorry Luke, sorry. Tom Stoltman again. Like to see you do that, bud. Starting beef with the Stoltmans. I catch my breath. Whew. I'm not out of breath. So that's pretty much it for the day. It's 10 to 5 currently. I've got a Zoom call I need to go and jump on. I also need to go and see I'm not out of breath. Jim, if you can replace this isolator switch on the tipper. Isolator switch stopped working, can't tip the load. Not ideal, we need the tipper tomorrow as we're going to be chipping into it. So hopefully go and get that fixed. Guys are going to drop it up there, and yeah, we will see you tomorrow. Morning guys, it is Wednesday. Mike is back in today after he had hurt his back on the weekend, so he's going to take it easy and see how he gets on. Kyle is back in today as well, so myself, Kyle and Ed are up at this property today. Basically, there's this big driveway leading up to the top of the house, or to the house should I say, and it just needs a bit of attention from sort of lying branches, shrub, and just a general tidy up. So what we're going to do is we're going to start at the bottom of the driveway with the chipper and the van, just work our way up the drive and basically just sort out left and right to tidy this up a bit and yeah, make it look a little bit more presentable when the owners come and drive in. So it's a big property, it's just kind of got away from them a little bit. They've asked us to come in and do a bit of work. So initially I think we're going to be doing 2 days here just to see how we get on, and then we can make a plan of action for doing the rest. There's a big beech hedge down at the bottom here and up at the top that we need to look at. That goes right the way around in almost like a courtyard shape. These trees here as well, they're talking about lifting up the branches that are overhanging the fence just to expose that fence line. So we'll see how we get on today. But we're going to start down the very bottom here, and there is this tree that's snapped a part of its limb off and is hanging over the fence. So yeah, just a sort of general tidy up. I myself will be on the saw today, and I've got, like I say, Kyle and Ed coming out. So between the three of us, we'll crack on and see what we can get done. Mike, Damien and Tom are back out at the job that we started yesterday. Hopefully the weather stays good. And of course, we coffee to start the day. 2 double espresso. I don't drink coffee like all the time, like through the day, like back to back, but I have 1 or 2 coffees a day. And yeah, they're pretty strong. My tolerance, especially from drinking black, wow, a Land Rover towing a Land Rover, what is the chances of that? Since I've been drinking black coffee because I've been fasting. When you're fasting, if you don't know, you can't have any sort of calories, so you can drink black coffee because it's got 0 calories. So I fast till around 11, anywhere between 10 and 12 o'clock. It depends when I stopped eating the day before. So because I've been drinking black coffee, whenever I go to having it with milk, like these double espresso shots, I barely taste it. So, but gotta love a cup of coffee. If you drink tea over coffee, you should have a look at yourself in the mirror. I do drink tea as well, but I'm more of a coffee guy, to be honest. So when I go into the shop and order like a 4-shot latte, and they're like, "Are you okay?" But it doesn't make me jittery, doesn't make me hyper, it doesn't, just a drink in it. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not wired up right. We'll start with that tree there. Just pull up next to that. I know I look like a big orange council worker. No disrespect to council workers. Get the Orbitex scuffles on. So I've just nipped back from the job because I had a call from home to say that there's a delivery. The delivery is really for the yard, but it's obviously my home address, so waiting for the lorry to come up here. We have a KRESS delivery. Excited to see what we've got. I've got a forklift here. If it's on a pallet, I can always move it. Just shove it there.
I'll probably be easier just to take it off and put it there for you.
Handy having an electric one though. I'll go and fire up the forklift.
Aye, no worries. Go on, just through there.
Didn't realise that the last one didn't move that far. Aye, underneath the lean-to. Underneath that one, that's fine. What have we got here? Alright.
Key up the canto.
Alright, aye, aye.
It's only a 1.2, but it's a GT Line Sport.
Unfortunately, I need to go back to work, so you guys are going to have to wait and see what is in those boxes. KRESS. Pretty much finished down the bottom there. We dropped the chip off into the bed, tipped it in there, and we can spread it around. We can spread it around the bottom there. Coming up to this area next, where we're going to give this all a general sort of tidy up, clear out. But we spotted, with also the guy who looks after the property, spotted this. So there's a split right up, all the way up here. So this needs to come down because it is not really safe. Full transparency, I've never, taken a tree down like this, that's split. I'm hoping to fell it down in that direction. We have accepted the fact that it may thingy the fence. Luckily, the guy who works here is a fencer, so we're hopefully going to drop it down in there. Again, this could go horribly wrong, but only one way to find out. Well, told you I'd show you the good and the bad. Unfortunately, the thing wasn't even actually filming. Put it on top of that post and thought I started recording, but it obviously wasn't, and it turned off. The tree, as I was trying to fell it with all the weight on it, just snapped and gave way. And maybe I was a bit naive to think that the hinge would be enough to hold it and get it to go the way I wanted, but with it being rotten and everything, most certainly not. Even if it wasn't rotten, maybe, I don't know. So it did go over the fence, but the fence isn't that bad. It just needs a wire put back up and tightened up again. It actually didn't do as much damage as I thought it would. We knew that before we took the tree down, and it was more of a matter of safety because I had that big split in it. Again, I don't know how long it could have lasted for like that, but you could be walking past that or driving up there and it comes down, so we decided to do it. This is the area that we've just done. It's looking a hell of a lot tidier now. Dumped the pile of wood chip and we're going to spread that round in there at some point. But yeah, certainly opens it up and tidies it up. That trees had fallen over the other side of the fence. It was not letting any light through, nothing like that. So yeah, kind of chuffed with how that's turned out. I'm just away back to the yard quickly to sharpen up the saw and grab the other saw. The guys are just about to go and throw all the dismantled tree through the chipper. We just got it off the road and then put it into a pile. And now they're about to go and chip it. So the tree's down, the tree is safe, no one was hurt, the fence can be repaired. I could hide this from you guys and not show you. Happily would have shown you the tree coming down. It just split whether it was rotten. I don't know how else we should have got that down. Again, there's probably a sort of correct method for taking trees down like that, but they're so unpredictable, so I don't actually know. So before I get criticised in the comment section, I am fully qualified to take down trees, windblown trees, big trees. However, I've never came across something like that. So yeah, the tree's down, it's safe, and that's all I can really ask for. So we're pretty much done just now. Well, for the day anyway. It's approaching 5 o'clock, so just getting tidied up. Trees down, thinned out, lifted the branches over here. Still got quite a bit to do tomorrow, but yeah, we made a dent in it.
We did. Definitely looks neater.
That says something. right now. But I need to get these inside. It's all the KRESS stuff.
Is it?
I'll unwrap it and then throw the boxes in. I'll get the boxes inside. Must be batteries and that, is it? Heavy. Not that heavy. Walk away with it. What's that?
Here's the one, boys. Oh wow.
Toys, man, toys. We have a few parcels from old Cressy here. Be exciting to open these. Probably going to do that tomorrow. Thank you, KRESS. So, back on this site, Mike and Tommy are here just now. They've dug out the gravel. We've had 2 grab lorries in to take the stuff away. How much chips came away? 24 tonne of gravel been taken away and dug out. The gate that was here is getting replaced. We're now replacing the fence because it's starting to rot. The posts are all slack. This shed's coming away, and yeah, the fence all the way down to the bottom, all this section, is getting replaced. So yes, the job is growing arms and legs. It'll be good to get it all transformed. So, back on this site, Ed, Alex and Kyle are cracking on just up the driveway here, trying to clear out as much as they can. All the dead wood, branches over the fence, just giving it a general tidy up to this corner. We've got a shot of the mule from the owner to bring up the stuff that we need, to bring up all the rotten stuff that we're not taking away. We're going to take the firewood away, and any of the stuff that's no use is going to be staying on site and they can burn. So it's just to get it out of the way so we can come in and finish all this and get it all tidied up, because we're only in here today. Whether we'll be back or not at a later date, I don't know, but yeah, just to try and get the segment that we've done all tidied. So yeah, what a beast, what a rod. So we loaded the wood onto the trailer, got it back to the yard, and I've just came out to the Tomatella job just now. It is chucking it down with rain. We've got some excess soil here that we've been getting rid of, and another person on Facebook was asking for soil, and I said we could sell them a load. Came out to pick it up with the digger. It's going to be soaking, so not ideal, but we're here now. The builder has finished pouring the ramp. I can't see it because it's currently under cover, getting protected from the rain, so I think they're finished. The mixer and that's still here, so I guess they'll be coming back, but yeah, semi-finished. They poured the base found yesterday, the first layer, and then the finishing layer will go on top once it's all firm. So I think they were doing that today, and then there's a step to go on the other side of it as well. So yeah, slowly progressing here. I would take the camera out to show you loading up the digger, but it is absolutely soaking, so I'm not going to do that. It's hard to see with without before and after, but there's a fair difference.
No, I think it was either in the container.
Do you like KRESS?
Love KRESS.
Hello guys, it is Friday and it's actually Friday evening, it's 5:30. I have just got back into my driveway at home, and yeah, I haven't really filmed much today. We had a chipper course this morning. We had Dave, who had taken my chainsaw courses. He came in to do a chipper ticket for the 5 of us, me, Mike, Kyle, Damien and Ed. So, you know, piece of piss. It was nothing that we didn't really know, but it was good to have a professional come in who's trained in that and go through the sort of ins and outs and the correct operating procedures, etc. Yeah, tick another box. Obviously, we've had we always give sort of in-house training on machinery, but it is good for these specific machines, especially if you're working on commercial sites, etc. And even just in general, if people have the ticket and the qualification for using that machine. Now, I get a lot of it is just a bit of a farce because it's pretty self-explanatory. Don't put your hand in the chipper. And a lot of this tickets is a means and a way to make money, but these are seriously dangerous machines at the end of the day, and myself as an employer, I want to be covered at the end of the day, and also the guys, I want to have full confidence that they know that the ins and outs of the machine, how it works, what not to do, how to use it, etc. So anyway, that was done sort of midday-ish. The guys were in the yard with the processor getting through some wood from recent jobs, just to try and build up a bit of a stock with that. Mike and Damien went out to do a few little jobs. So a pretty easy sort of going day. We kind of got cut out in the rain at the end of the day there. However, you would have seen the KRESS equipment that we have received. I had all intentions of filming this morning, unboxing it, putting everything together, etc. But the day didn't just really pan out as like that. So I thought I'd jump on at the end of the day here and just explain kind of what happened this week. But sort of easy day to end the week, which was good. I had a good chat with the guys in the workshop at the end there. Obviously the feedback forms that we had sent out to the guys, just sent home with the guys, fill these out, give us your input, etc. What's working, what's not, what needs to be improved. And to be honest, it was a bit of a wake-up call for me as the employer. Nothing overly sort of negative or like this is bad, but it gave me an insight and highlighted the importance of doing this and getting the feedback from your team. A lot of the stuff that they wrote or whatever, gave the feedback that they gave was never ever communicated beforehand, and it's difficult for me to know what people's expectations are, what their ambitions are, what they want, etc., without having that conversation. It just opened up a can of worms in my head, because it's like, if you don't know what you don't know, and if people don't speak and they don't communicate, you sort of build assumptions and etc. And it just highlights the importance of communication, especially with your team. Because people come to work and they're either shy to say something, or they don't want it to be awkward or whatever. I don't want that to be the case here, and I stressed that to the guys. We had a good chat there. I sort of laid all my cards on the table, was pretty vulnerable with things, but also just sort of managing my expectations and managing their expectations. At the end of the day, as the boss, I've got all the stress, the pressure and everything on my shoulders, and if I let that affect the team, then that's not going to work. If their actions and performance affect me, then that's not going to work. It's about getting the sort of team involved and getting them on board with the sort of vision and everything and what we're trying to achieve, and also just opening up their eyes to what it actually takes to run the business, the numbers, how much things actually cost, how much that last half hour of the day, blasé, sort of, waiting for the clock to go, like how much that actually costs, and creating that sort of culture where people feel involved and they feel like they've got progression in their career and not just a job. And it opened my eyes up, because some of the people who I thought were just here for a job, they actually want a career change. They want this to be a career that they can progress in. And I didn't know that. Without having this conversation, I didn't know. So I will be honest, the last few weeks has been pretty hard for me mentally, just trying to take it all in, try not feel alone in that sort of situation, because at the end of the day, I'm the employer, they're the employee, and there's always that there will always be that I am the boss at the end of the day. It is a business, it has to be profitable, people have to be held accountable, but I am a big believer in creating a space where people can come and work and thrive and enjoy what they are doing, and everyone can progress and benefit. Not just me, the boss, the employer, not just the business, but the people that are in it as well. And if that's going to be the downfall of my business, whenever that is, then so be it. Because to come to work, to be unhappy with the team, to be unhappy with the performance, to be constantly stressed and pressured and not enjoying it, and angry at them and annoyed at them, and he f***ed up and he messed up, or he broke that, what have you, he's slacking off, and it's just like, that's not the business that I want to build. And I think we're doing a pretty good job of avoiding that, but I'm just wanting to stress the fact that I've touched on it before so many times. I sound like a broken record, but I really want this to be a place where people can come and progress and feel a part and feel involved in the vision. But at the end of the day, it is a business, it needs to be profitable, people need to come here and work, they are paid to come and work. That's one thing you've got to consider, is like, they get a wage at the end of the day, but a wage isn't always enough. You need to have that sort of culture, you need to have that team spirit in place, a place where they can actually come and enjoy what they do, and everyone can thrive. And we spoke about taking on more responsibility. The more that the team show me what they're capable of, and the more responsibility that they can take on, and I have full confidence that they can go and deliver the job, the less I'm going to have an input. Micromanaging was something that was commented a few times in the feedback forums, and that's just going to be pretty standard across any business and from any business owner. However, it is important to realise, and for their point of view, I fully agree, I do micromanage. I'm getting a lot better at taking a step back and delegating and giving responsibility away, but you have to prove to me that you're capable of having that responsibility. Now, whether that's giving you the responsibility before I know you can have it and seeing how you get on, or you building up over time, being self-sufficient and taking the lead with things, I can see that you're showing initiative, etc., then yes, I'm gonna witness that, and I'm gonna be like, he's actually pretty good, and you're doing well. You can take on that responsibility, and you can do more. But if you constantly get let down or disappointed, or if people mess up, or if they're negligent, or they don't show effort, etc., then it's hard to then have the full confidence in someone to go and deliver that job, and not micromanage them, not make sure that they're doing the job properly, or they know exactly what they're doing. People will not thrive, and people need to be empowered in their job. I don't want to babysit them. I don't want to turn them into robots. I want them to think for themselves and deliver the job in hand and do their job. It's way better for everyone else if everyone can kind of get on with their work, not feel pressured or micromanaged by people. One thing I highlighted though, there is a fine line between micromanaging and preventative measures. If I tell you to do something because, you know, if you don't do that, this is going to happen, is that micromanaging or is that just being preventative? Because if I didn't tell you and it happened, why didn't I tell you that? I think there is a fine line between micromanaging people and just showing and telling, because you can't expect someone to do something if they don't know what they're doing. You need to make sure that everyone's on the same page with things. The end outcome is the same. I've spoken a lot towards the end of the day here. I felt really good about having that conversation. The guys as well highlighted that it is important to have this conversation because a lot of employers don't do it. A lot of businesses don't have this sort of chat, and it's detrimental to the business because things fall apart, people don't pull their weight, you know, there's animosity, there's tension, etc. Clear the air. Told the guys if there's any issue that you ever have, or you're not happy with something, etc., you come and tell me. Come and tell me what the problem is. You come and address it. You don't let it build up, you don't let it affect your work, etc. Come and tell me. I'm an approachable person. Things go wrong all the time. Vans have been, you know, dented and bashed into by accident. If something's a result of negligence, then there's obviously got to be a repercussion in place for that. But if something is an accident, I'm fully aware of that. Everyone messes up, and I'm a pretty approachable person. I would rather you come and tell me that you've messed up or you have broken something or what have you. Then we can figure out why this happened, what can we do to prevent it from happening again, rather than me finding out without being told, getting annoyed that I've not been told, and then that's just not good for anyone. I want to be an approachable boss. I want to be someone that people can speak to me about their issues, etc. What they're finding good, what they're finding bad, and communication. And in all aspects of life, I'm learning myself now that communication is one of the most important things for me, not just in business but in my personal life as well. Communicate, because without it you make assumptions, you often don't make the right assumptions. It's just so important. So please, if you are running a business and you have got staff members, etc., speak to them, have a conversation. I know it's hard, I know it's difficult. I had to take a deep breath before I went and had that conversation. It's hard to start it and get going, but once you start speaking and get past that awkwardness, you've just got to do it. You've got to get uncomfortable, you've got to get comfortable with being uncomfortable and just do the thing. And I'm really glad that I've said it. We've had the chat at the end of the week now. Hopefully we can go into the new week when people are feeling better. A lot of people were ill this week, and with a clearer head, on the right path, in the right direction, with more people on board. I'm really glad that I had that chat with the guys, and it is a good way to end the week. So yeah, a lot of this video is probably talking, but most of them are. But if you've made it this far, I really do appreciate you watching, and I hope you are taking some positivity, some, you know, pointers from the videos and what we're actually doing here. It's the whole point of this channel is to show the ins and outs of what I'm trying to do here at Morrison Lawn Landscape, and I'm showing you what I struggle with, you know, the wins and the losses, what it actually takes to run a business, because people, without knowing, build up this misconception in their head that it's easy, this, that and the next thing. I'm showing you the true ins and outs of what I'm facing as I grow a business. I'm 22 years old. I highlighted that in the workshop there. I'm 22 years old. This is my first paper round. I'm learning every day as it is, and I've got a lot of pressure on me to run this. We've done pretty well so far, but it's important that people know that, and everyone's got an understanding of things and what's going on. And I hope that it's a place that they feel proud to be a part of, proud to come and do a good job. The feedback that the guys get is really good. And yeah, just as a whole, we are a pretty well presented and sought after business. We're really busy, we get inquiries all the time. I'm rambling on now, but I'm getting a bit hyped up about what I've just, how the end of the day has just unfolded there. So I'm going to go now. But yeah, I hope you have enjoyed the video. Again, it is a bit sporadic when Enrico's not here, my videographer, who can film the ins and outs without me having to have the responsibility of the camera, etc. Sometimes I'm just not in that mood or in the mode to film and record things, so it gets left out. But I do try my best to pick up the camera and chat when I can. But at the end of the day, it is paramount that I run this thing and prioritise the business before this, so I will try and show as much as I can. If you've made it this far with me speaking and haven't turned off the camera, fair play to you. But yeah, thank you very much for watching another week in the life of a 22-year-old landscape business owner, and I will see you in the next one. Don't forget to like, subscribe and leave your comments down below. It's really good to get your guys' feedback, what you enjoy about the videos, what you don't enjoy, what we could improve on, and your input as well. What have you experienced? Anyway, I'm going to go now because I'm pretty tired and I've got a sore throat. Bye guys.